Listen carefully, because I'm going to expose the 6 excuses women use to cheat without feeling guilty. She's already planning how to justify her betrayal before she even does it. And the twisted part? She'll make you apologize for her cheating. As a woman, I'm about to reveal the psychological playbook we use to rewrite history. Before I expose these manipulation tactics, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Comment what city you are watching from. Let's help each other stay aware. Because what I'm revealing today, it's the mental script most women follow. Excuse 1. You made me feel invisible. This is the most common excuse, and I've watched friends use it perfectly. She'll rewrite your entire relationship history to paint you as emotionally neglectful. Suddenly, every normal moment becomes evidence of your emotional abandonment. Picture this. You come home from work tired, wanting to decompress quietly. She sits next to you, trying to start a conversation about her day. You listen, nod, give short responses because you're mentally drained. In the moment, it seems normal. But months later, when she's caught texting another man, that evening becomes Exhibit A. She'll tell her friends how you never really listened, how you made her feel like she was talking to a wall. That quiet evening becomes proof that you were emotionally unavailable. Your stress from work gets reframed as rejection of her needs. Here's how we twist reality to justify our actions. That time you were focused on a work deadline becomes you choosing career over relationship. When you wanted quiet time after a long day, it becomes you rejecting her emotional needs. Your normal masculine need for space becomes proof of your inadequacy as a partner. The psychology is simple. We're reframing your personality as emotional abuse. Watch how she'll present this narrative to others. She'll describe feeling lonely in the relationship, claiming she tried to communicate but you never listened. She'll say the other man saw her in ways you never did. Suddenly, her cheating becomes an act of self-preservation. Excuse 2. We grew apart. This excuse is brilliant because it sounds so mature and reasonable. She'll frame her betrayal as the natural result of relationship evolution. Suddenly, her cheating becomes an inevitable consequence of growing apart. She'll sit you down for a serious conversation about how you've both changed. She'll mention how you used to share the same interests, but now you seem to want different things. She'll talk about feeling like roommates rather than lovers, about the spark being gone. It sounds like relationship counseling, but it's actually preparation for betrayal. The psychology is this. We're making infidelity sound like personal development. Listen to how she'll present this to others. She'll say she felt trapped in a relationship that wasn't growing. She'll claim she was trying to save both of you from a dead-end situation. She'll present the other man as someone who understood her journey. The reality? She grew attracted to someone else and needed justification. The growing apart narrative only emerged after she started emotionally investing elsewhere. She's using relationship philosophy to mask her inability to resist temptation. Excuse 3. I was drunk, it just happened. This is the classic temporary insanity defense. She'll minimize her agency by claiming she wasn't in control. Alcohol becomes her scapegoat for choices she made while fully conscious. She'll come home after a night out, or you'll discover messages the next morning. When confronted, she'll immediately mention how much she had to drink. She'll describe feeling dizzy, not thinking clearly, barely remembering what happened. She'll focus on the alcohol consumption rather than the choices that led to the situation. Here's how we use this excuse to escape responsibility. She'll claim the alcohol made her do things she never would have done sober. She'll say it just happened, as if she had no control over her actions. She'll describe feeling taken advantage of in her vulnerable state. The psychology is this. We're denying our own agency to avoid guilt. Watch how she'll frame this narrative. She'll say she barely remembers what happened. Convenient amnesia. She'll present herself as someone who made one mistake while impaired. Her betrayal becomes an accident, not a choice. The reality? Alcohol doesn't create desires. It removes inhibitions. She was attracted to him before the alcohol was involved. She put herself in situations where this could happen. This excuse lets her avoid facing the fact that she wanted to cheat. Excuse 4. I needed to feel desired again. This excuse is particularly manipulative because it sounds almost reasonable. She'll frame her cheating as meeting a basic human need you weren't fulfilling. Suddenly, her betrayal becomes about her self-worth, not your relationship. She'll explain how she stopped feeling attractive in the relationship. She'll mention how you used to compliment her appearance, but don't anymore. She'll describe feeling invisible, like you saw her as a roommate rather than a woman. She'll talk about needing to remember who she was before the relationship. Here's how we justify this behavior. She'll claim you stopped making her feel attractive, ignoring her own changes. She'll say she forgot who she was and needed reminding. She'll present the other man as someone who awakened her confidence. The psychology is this: we're making cheating sound like self-care. Listen to how she'll present this to others. She'll say she felt invisible and undesirable in the relationship. She'll claim she was dying inside from lack of attention. She'll present the affair as remembering her worth as a woman. The truth? She enjoyed the thrill of new attention more than loyalty. She was already seeking validation outside the relationship. She chose temporary excitement over permanent commitment. Excuse number 5. You weren't meeting my needs. This is the ultimate blame-shifting excuse. She'll make her cheating entirely about your failures as a partner. Every unmet expectation becomes justification for her betrayal. She'll create a detailed list of ways you disappointed her. She'll mention how she tried to tell you what she needed, but you never listened. She'll describe feeling unloved and unheard. She'll present the other man as someone who gets it, unlike you. The psychology is this: we're making infidelity sound like problem-solving. Her betrayal becomes your fault for being inadequate. She'll say she felt unloved and unheard in the relationship. She'll claim she was forced to look elsewhere for basic needs. The reality? She never communicated clearly what she actually needed. She was already emotionally invested elsewhere when she started this narrative. She's using relationship problems to justify relationship destruction. Excuse number 6. I was unhappy and confused. This is the mental health defense for cheating. She'll frame her betrayal as the symptom of deeper emotional issues. Suddenly, her cheating becomes evidence of her suffering, not your pain. She'll describe going through a difficult period, feeling lost, and searching for herself. She'll claim she wasn't thinking clearly during this time. She'll present the affair as trying to feel something during her emotional numbness. The psychology is this: we're medicalizing infidelity to avoid moral responsibility. She'll say she was going through something you couldn't understand. She'll claim she was emotionally damaged and made poor decisions. She'll present the other man as someone who helped her through this time. The truth? She was unhappy about being caught between two men. Her confusion was about which option would make her happier. She used emotional turmoil to justify selfish choices. Notice the pattern in all these excuses. She's never the villain. She's always the victim of circumstances. You're always the one who forced her to make these choices. The other man is always the hero who saved her from you. Here's how to handle these excuse patterns. Don't argue with the excuse. Focus on the action. Don't accept responsibility for her choices. Don't let her emotional manipulation cloud your judgment. Remember, good people don't cheat, then blame others for their choices.